Hello and welcome to the Parentpreneurs podcast. I'm your host, Taryn Murray. I'll be talking to people about balancing life with parenting and also being entrepreneurs. These two guests of mine, I've known them for over 15 years. They are also the senior pastors of Life City Church, my family church. And I would like to introduce to you none other, Volney and Angel Morgan. What's up, guys?
Hey. What's up, T?
How you guys doing?
We're good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just it's been a good week. It's been a busy week of work, of life, of parenting, as you guys know. As we are all parents. I want to start this interview off by asking how many children you guys have.
Just two.
Just the two.
You're gonna say something.
No, we got two. I like to frog Angel all the time. But I got about 5, 6 kids. In the spirit. Hallelujah.
Wow. That one's there. Okay.
Volney Morgan Jr. and Zoe Morgan.
Yeah.
Right, and they are 8 and 4?
3.
About to be 4.
3, about to be 4.
Couple weeks.
In 2 weeks, she's about to be 4.
Wow. Big woman that, I wanted to know, you two run a business, right? And I wanted to know the name of your business. First of all, the name of your business, what service your business provides, and how long has it been running?
Good question. We got a few businesses and some that are still in the pipeline, but our main current business is something called Bridge Gospel, which is it does it's multifaceted. Where it first started off with me doing workshops and for those of you who don't know, I'm a choir director, music facilitator. So I go across Europe and most recently across the world to do choir workshops. Yep. So the best way to do that is to start a business. And I saw a vision of bringing people together. It wasn't just having workshop sessions, but it was about bringing people together from different countries and singing together. So most recently, we started a choir in Paris, which is absolutely dope. So Bridge Gospel Choir Paris, and I'm going to be starting one in London as well. And later on down the line, it'll be one in kind of different countries and cities, by God's grace, because it takes a lot. So that's the business, and it's just bringing people together. And I think that's always been a passion of mine, or a passion of ours, actually, as pastors, to see people come together, different nations, different creeds, singing and worshiping God, really. So that's the business of Bridge Gospel. And also we do other stuff alongside that within Bridge Gospel, which is things like hosting events and doing trips and stuff like that for choirs to come over to London and things like that. So that's just one of our businesses. The other one is, do you want to talk about the other one? Or are we revamping?
Yeah, we're revamping that one.
We're revamping that one. So
no worries.
But it's going to be great. It's going to be good. So so that's the main one at the moment. But we've got a few in the pipeline which we're excited for.
And the name of the business is brushed over it. Is Bridge Gospel.
Yes.
Bridge Gospel. So that's Bridge Gospel. It's just Bridge Gospel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned that you go over to different countries and you've got like a number of choirs that are going on right now. And my question is to the both of you is, how do you balance life of being a parent and an entrepreneur, or entrepreneurs, should I say?
it's not the easiest thing to do,
Yeah.
but I think we even spoke about it yesterday. When you're graced for something, it's easier for you than it would be for most other people. And so we've been graced for it. So we thank God for that. But also we have a fantastic support network as well, a really good village. So we do have the opportunity to both travel. Sometimes we travel together. Sometimes we have to travel separately. So we find the balance that way. And then obviously being very honest and transparent with our children as much as we can be. For their level of understanding, to let them know we're not just disappearing, but this is what we're going to do. And sending videos and stuff. And then sometimes we bring them with us when they're not in school, awesome. So then they can see firsthand what it is that we're actually doing. So they're more understanding about that now. So that's where we're trying to find the balance.
And I think honestly, there's sometimes where there is no balance. It's because if we look at the state of balance means that it's kind of 50-50.
I don't really think there is a true state of balance.
There's always there's a lot of giving and taking. There's a lot of sacrifice that a lot of people don't see it. So again, on whether we post on social media or something like that, people will see the traveling, but they don't really get to see the downtime with the family kind of thing. So so again, balance can look different in different seasons. To answer your question, there is a balance, but every now and again it's give and take.
Okay, so how long has Bridge Gospel been running for?
Oh, that's a good question. Since VMJ, or just before.
Is this legally or...
Wow. Yeah, no, that's good actually. Registered about 6 years. No, you gotta tell the truth, because some people, y'all be having businesses, they ain't registered. Y'all ain't be paying your taxes. Registered about 6 years. About eight years of the concept of Bridge Gospel, and that technically wasn't probably under the name of Bridge Gospel. That was probably just the concept of going out and doing what I was doing, till I realized that it was a bigger thing. It needed a team, it needed framework, and I think that's kind of where we started about 6-7 years ago, where we really put that framework in.
Okay, cool. So before you guys started Bridge Gospel, you guys were employed by a company, and I wanted to know, at what time during the time that you guys were working for a company, did you feel that it was the right time to transition from being employed to being self-employed?
That's a very good question.
We have two very different
stories.
To that. We won't say that. They're not paying me.
Yes, we will not say that. It was a tech multi-billion company that we was working. No, seriously, it's a tech company, billion company. You want to say your story first or mine? I think I'll say my story first, because I left before you did. So first of all, we worked for the same company. It was a tech company, just before my son, that's crazy. Now looking at the timeline, just before my son was about to be born, I'm also a music artist as well. So I've got my own professional choir called Volney Morgan and New Ye. And shout out to the team. A lot of things was happening, and I never forget, to cut the long story short, transition things was happening in my life. I was about to have a son, and the choir was doing really well, and we was nominated for a mobile, and at the time I was working for this company, I think about 2016. Was it 2000? I think about 2016. I was working for this company, and got nominated for mobile, and this first time we got nominated for mobile, got asked to do to perform at the mobiles, and it was a mobile pre-show, so we was excited. We done the mobile pre-show, absolutely amazing, shut it down, great, had like all these secular artists coming to us like, oh my days, like, is this what church is doing now? Like, if this is what church is doing, sign me up, I need to come to church. So that ministry factor was a blessing as well. Unfortunately, we never won that year. So that was crazy. Now, behind that, I never forget, I was actually dealing with an injury, which was my ankle. And I was actually off from work for this.
Your ankle and your knee.
My ankle and my knee. And I would have to wear a brace to go to work. Now, here's the thing. I kind of ran my body down to a point where I had to be signed off from work. Wow. Now, in the recovery period, to the end, and the craziest thing was the timing lined up perfectly, or unperfectly. And basically, I was signed off from work. So by the time I was to come back, so say I was meant to come back the Monday, the Saturday, which I wasn't scheduled for, I done the mobiles, and then so come back to work on the Monday, and I get called into the office, and I've got like colleagues being like, "Oh my days, saw that you guys are nominated for mobile and this and that. You guys are big," and all that stuff. And they get called into the office by a manager, and the manager says, "Hey, like, we noticed that you was nominated for mobile. Congratulations." So I'm thinking, oh wow, like my manager's bringing me in the office to be like, congratulations.
It was a setup.
It was a big setup. Turns out, I'll never forget, he turned on the screen like, "Oh my days," and I was like, wow, like, you got screenshots, and I was like,
wow.
And if you know us, we dance, we go in, and here's the thing:
for someone who has an ankle
and
a knee injury, you shouldn't be up and down and doing all that.
Now, here's my thing: though I had it, listen, as we say in the church, we praise for it, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It still hurt. I still felt it, but it was an opportunity I wasn't going to miss. Now, whether to me that feels right, to my employer, they were like, that don't look good. So, called me in the office and literally put me on my final warning. And I was just like, oh my days, like not even...
Mind you, it wasn't even first warning.
Yeah.
It just went straight
to final warning.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, wow. And I never forget in that meeting, my manager says to me off the record, he goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, sure. I mean, you've just put me on my final warning." He's like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Because I need to provide for my family." And literally he goes, "Can I tell you something? I don't think you're meant to be here. I think you're meant to be going after that dream. I think that's where you're meant to be." And my manager saw something in me that, I knew, but it's refreshing when you have someone that doesn't know you like that, but they can look at you and say, there's something in you that's far greater than this place. And then fast forward down the line, that year went, and I was kind of tossing up between, do I leave, do I stay? And then it got to a point where I literally prayed to God, and I was like, yo, like, I don't even know what to do right now. I'm about to have my firstborn. Obviously, I need a job to provide. And what do I do? And I never forget hearing the voice of the Lord say, listen, if you stay, I'm with you. If you leave, I'm with you. And Volney Morgan heard leave. But in the way where it was very scary, but I guess that was my faith. So I kind of...
that's right.
I jumped. And I say to the people all the time, I took a leap of faith, and to this day, I haven't hit the ground. So the craziest thing, the roundabout completion of this story was the following year we got nominated for mobile again. This time I'm not working for the company, and this time we win. So it's like, it's crazy. And then I go back into work, and life has changed now. I've got a son, and like crazy doors have opened. And I'm in a place where I can provide for my family. So that leap of faith was the best decision I could make. Now, for people who was like, oh, it just happened for him. No, there was days where like I was like, yo, where is
struggle, man?
Coming from? You know what I mean? But we had to steward well with what we had. So financially, I had to steward well. So again, cut long story short, the next year we won the Mobile, came back in, saw a couple colleagues. I felt like it was only right that I come back in to the place that I didn't get fired from. I left, but almost got fired from.
Almost.
Just to be like, yo, in some way, I've made it. You know what I mean? Made it not in a way to be like, I've made it. Look at me now. It more like I took that leap and it did work. So and then fast forward a few more years from that, they called me back in to they have a division where they have a record label, and they call me back in and the group to sign and do a project with them, and that felt like a full circle moment, and I was just like, God, like you work in mysterious ways, but this was crazy. So
amazing. Amazing.
My story isn't that long. I'm gonna make it 30 seconds. Basically, I was like, maternity leave, gonna have the first child. Went back to work because we had that discussion. I was like, okay, at least I will keep a regular job. Because I've had no aspirations or dreams to be an entrepreneur. I was a nerd. I was like, I'm gonna be in corporate. It's gonna be what it is gonna be. It needs to be stable. Then COVID hit. And then I was pregnant again with our second born. And they were asking me to do some crazy stuff, and I was like, absolutely not. And then I think during my maternity, I could just feel the urge that I'm just not going to be here anymore. Whether it's going to be for a different company to do something else, or to continue or to pursue being an entrepreneur, I didn't quite know. But it's something that we prayed about. Opportunities had opened up for me to do some stuff in different fields that I was passionate about. And it was scary because I'm usually kind of like the behind the scenes person. I do all of the, and I'm fantastic at it. You know? So I'm like, cool, let me do all that behind the scenes stuff. But I was being nudged to, doors were opening for me to do stuff. I was saying no to a lot of things. But my husband was like, bro, if people are calling you, like, go and do the thing. And I was like, but I don't have enough trade. Go and do the thing. You have to start somewhere. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me have this baby. I was still disobedient because I just knew my time at that company, regardless of what I was going to do next, was going to be over. And then it wasn't until I finished maternity leave, because I was like, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to be at home. I'm going to get paid. Let's figure out how this money's going to work before we start doing stuff. I applied for more senior positions. I got through the interviews, and then I turned the position down. I was like, it's fine. I don't feel like I'm going to stay in this, so it'd be unfair of me to carry on. And then I was coming home from work one day. I crossed the road, and I felt like I got punched in the stomach, and I started bawling, and I just heard, leave now. And I was like, So I came into the house crying, and he was like, what? You're not making sense. You're not speaking English. I was just crying. And then when he eventually calmed me down, I said, I have to leave. And he was like, cool. I thought there was going to be more of an argument, or like, but baby, got to look at finance. He was like, cool. He said, the same way that I took a leap and God hasn't let me fall, we're going to do the same thing. We've been good stewards with our finances. So we do have like a quote unquote fallback plan. We should be okay. And then I handed in, and then we got called for an event with my company to sing. And that very day, I saw all the senior management and stuff. That very day, I wrote my resignation letter and I handed it in. And then that was the end of it for me.
Wow.
And then I just started saying, instead of saying, no, I can't do something, I was like, sure.
And I think the key thing was that Angel was missing out in this was she just wasn't happy. She would go to work. We'll be speaking on the phone. She's on her way to work. And I'll never forget, you was across the road. You said you was across the road from work, about to walk. And it's like this cloud came over her of, I actually can't go in there. Like she felt, I remember even in that season, it was like, I felt sick. Like just to go and... that's one, thank you. So basically what my body started doing was fighting me. Right. It's not technically a Christian podcast, but so what would happen would be the Monday morning, I would get, so because I had the baby, I had
small sciatica, which is basically like a nerve and all this stuff. But every Monday, as soon as I got up to start to get ready for work, it would be triggered automatically, and I would be in pain. I couldn't move my leg until I had to call and usually just pray and be like, Lord, heal my leg, let me go. And I would go about my business to the point where I was like, this is not even working anymore. I had to call the doctor, get signed off. And then when I wasn't at work for like 6 weeks, I was absolutely fine. But as soon as I would think about going back into it, my body would be like I would feel sick again. And so I was like, this is not healthy. I can't do this. I'm not going to die. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's small money that we've got saved. Like, if I don't work for a few months, nobody's going to die. Do you get what I mean? We've got parents. We have each other. That we're fine. And my husband basically like, nothing is going to kill my wife. So be out. But then I was still disobedient, which is why I had to get punched. I felt like I got punched when I was coming home to be like, okay, now you have to leave. And that's when I said, okay,
Wow. Okay, so because that kind of like leads on to my next question, and which I was going to actually ask. Has there ever been a time where everything has got too much with work, or you was on the edge of burnout, and how did you sort it all out?
No.
Yeah, like in fact, let me even talk on the other side of being an entrepreneur. I think, as you said, we wear multiple hats. So we're pastors of a church called the Life Seek Church, which I love. Passionate about those people who we get to serve and lead. I'm also, again, we're CEOs of a company, which is Bridge Gospel, and we have other businesses, as well as we have the choir, as well as we have friends, family, and all the above. You know what I mean? It's one big package. And there comes a time where, especially for us, we felt a lot of people relied on us, and especially as leaders, people rely on you as a leader. To either know the way or have good advice or know what to do. And I think there was a season where it just felt like everything was crumbling and going wrong. And it wasn't anything to do with us. Like, we was trying to do the best we can, but it just, in the line of what we do, someone could not like someone else, and then you're in the thick of it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to kind of be a mediator, or, you know what I mean? So there's always something that you have to kind of be involved in. And I think there came a moment where we was doing way too much and we wasn't taking any time for ourselves. Because again, in the midst of all of that, we're husband and wife.
That's right.
So it's not like we go to separate workplaces. We work together, so we see each other all the time. We live together. Everything is just together. So in fact, every single one of our, apart from a couple business ventures, are pretty much together. You would think we get annoyed with each other, but we don't. We're actually each other's kind of rock. You know what I mean? We are each other's rock. You know what I mean? So
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I think when those moments come, we have to take a moment to be like, okay, what do we need in this season? What do we need? Do we need a moment of rest? Which, I'm not gonna lie to you, 7 times out of 10, it can be rest. You've been going for too long, been pushing too hard, and you need a moment of rest just to recoup. I say this all the time. If you're not okay, if you're not well, then how can everything that you manage be well? Okay. So that's something that I've always kind of encouraged people and told people that, look, the first priority is the person who's leading or who's over it. Because if you break down, then who's going to lead it? So one of the things that we do to deal with when things get a bit too heavy is we kind of shut off. Most recently, actually, I turned my phone off for the first time in a long time, and it felt great. Now, did I have thoughts going through my mind like, oh my gosh, what if this happens, that happens, and this happens? And I was like, you know what? At this point, if I'm not okay, then I can't be of any help or any use to anybody else.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
you have to draw those boundaries when things get kind of overwhelming, to be like, okay, I need to have a moment for myself. Self-care is so important. If you don't see that, if you don't look after yourself, what you'll find is that you'll literally burn out. And we've been in a place of burnout, and that wasn't good. It wasn't great at all. I remember in lockdown, I was going so hard, like to the point where that an incident happened, and I felt like that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And it sounds crazy. I was cooking one day for the children, and a smoldering pot of oil. It was starting to burn, and then I tried to move it to the sink, and it literally fell, and hot oil went all over my body, and literally to the point where they had to peel my skin off. I still got little marks here. You can't probably see on camera, but they had to peel my skin off till you saw the white meat, and it was like, I couldn't, in that season, I couldn't bathe myself. I had to, like, literally, she had to be everything. She had to nurse a man that was in his 30s, which was crazy. And just to see myself and see my children look at me like, oh my days, like,
I was only VMJ.
Yeah, at the time it was only VMJ. Like, see him look at me like, my dad can't do anything. He has to rest. Like, I can't even hug him because I'll hurt him. Like, it was very traumatizing for a little child, I think. But it was that moment.
Sorry, but that shows the strength of your partnership in marriage, and also working together as well.
Definitely in business, because while I was recovering, she was holding it down. You know what I mean? So talk about a business partner. That was a great partnership. So within all of that, I had to stop doing certain jobs. I had to. Luckily, it was in COVID, so part of it was we was in lockdown anyway. So it wasn't about going anywhere, but literally the recovery after, when we was able to go out, I had to have bandages and stuff like that. But it reminded me to just shut down. It was a moment. And what was crazy is I felt like I had a reason now to stop. Sometimes we feel guilty to stop. Sometimes we feel like, no, I can't stop. If I stop now, so many people's depending on me, and I don't have a good enough reason to stop. So that was a plain reason. When people saw those scars, they were like, listen, you don't do nothing.
You just need to relax.
You know what I mean? So sometimes there's that grace, but you have to have, it needs to not go that far. You have to have that grace for yourself. So I would encourage people to definitely take moments to rest, to stop, and not feel like if you stop, everything's going to go before you and you're going to miss out. I'm telling you, it won't be that way. So cool.
All right, then. Well, my next question is, Pastor Angel, I'm going to ask you first. What's your favorite way to spend a day off?
I like to read.
Like to read?
Binge. Probably. What's my favorite one right now?
Oh, you're rewatching The Flash.
I'm catching up on it. I don't like. There's a lot of programs. I'm like, I want to watch something that I've watched before, so I don't have to concentrate. So if I want to read a book, it's background noise. And honestly, it's gonna sound enough, but I like being with him. Like, just that we don't have work, we don't have kids.
I hear you. Yep.
I just want to be, and it's not even my husband. I just want to be my friend.
I hear you.
You don't need to talk to me. I just want you in the room. I need to know that you're
the company alone is enough.
Some people call it stalking, but
I do stalk him. I do. Because he travels so often, I will stalk him on Instagram to be like, oh, what's he up to? What's he doing? Because you're not going to get a chance to speak to me until, like, you're going to bed. I want to see what you've done the day.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll be like, oh, yeah, I saw that you did this. You met this person.
No. That's the nice version. The real version is oh, I saw that you landed, but you didn't tell me that you landed.
Yeah.
Like,
because you had time to
I saw you landed, but you can post. Yeah, you can post what you're doing. I'm going to apologize. I have landed. Yeah, I'm in my hotel.
But I'm stalking you.
Now I'm going for a bike ride.
You're not going to we don't do that. We don't do that. Yeah. But I didn't know. Yeah. To be fair, so,
yeah.
Cool. Pastor Volney, what is your favorite way to spend your day off?
It's going to sound over the top, but I don't get many days. And I feel like days don't make me recover well. Mm-hmm. Days, if I have a day, my mind is still ticking, it's still going.
Right.
So what I try and do is I try and set out a week where I can go away. Because I know if I go away, the first 2 days, my mind's overloading. But come day 3, I'm like, I'm away. Like, let me just chill. So what I try and do at least 4 times a year is just book some time away with the family or just with Angel, where we get to just chill and do nothing. Again, those single days, if there's anything, it's either me just being in bed, recovering. But as you know, as entrepreneurs, we don't get it's not a 9 to 5. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a 24-hour. It's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
In 2 a.m. in the morning, you can still be sending emails. Yeah. You could be, depending on the line of work that you do, you can be working throughout. So it's not necessarily, we have a lunch break here and we have, we finish or we shut off here. Like, we're just constantly going, especially for us, because we wear multiple hats. Yeah. So, so one thing could be church this minute, and that takes my day. So meetings and things like that can take me to 5, and then after 5, you've got to turn up for certain things. You've got to be in certain places, and then you've got the business side of there's still someone that wants to book you or someone that wants to put an event together. So you're
doing admin as well. You know
what I mean. And then you still got to be. And then on top of that,
say that again.
And then you still got to be a parent.
Yeah,
that's right.
Then you still got to do school drop off, school pick up.
Oh yeah,
got to make dinner. You got to you got to do homework. You got to spend time with the kids, but you still have to in the back of your head, like, I've got to get back to.
Yeah,
there's a deadline to submit this.
And you got to remember, like, with what we do, it's not just based in one country. So we're on different time zones. And I think the other thing is, so like what people don't know is like doing the choir in Paris. Luckily, I live close to King's Cross Station, but that's a train journey to Paris, like every other week to do a workshop, and then come back. And because of the time you finish, you can't just take another train back. You have to stay over and then come back morning, and then that next morning you have to come in at a good enough time that you can drop your children to school. You know what I mean? People don't see that, and what it can look like is, they're traveling and they're doing stuff, and they see the plane windows and we just touched down in this place, or we're doing this, but they don't realize someone still has to make sure everything is running. You know what I mean?
Background work.
Right. So that's why I say for our downtime, when we get a moment just to shut off, and again, some of these moments are beautiful when we do get to bring our children to certain places, because we can have a couple of days off where we're working this day, that day, and then these days we have off, so we get to just chill in like a cool city with our kids. You know what I mean? So all of that to say, sometimes it's a day that you get to just recover, but a lot of times with us, we try and plan our diary in a way where it's like, okay, we've scheduled all of these stuff, now we're scheduling rest. And I think that's something that you definitely have to do, is schedule rest.
Schedule rest. Okay, cool. Okay, so my next question is, what solutions have you found that work well when it comes to spending time with your family and working on your business?
I'll let you answer that one.
Of course you would. What solutions work well? I think it just depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
The ones where we can travel with the children are really effective, because then you still have to bring your homework, and you got to tell me about your experience, because you're not just going to be here to be here.
Yeah.
So we've got those, which is really cool, and then they get to see what we do, so then we can have family time that way. Then there's when we're here.
I think it's scheduling.
Yeah, but I'm not very good at scheduling. You're good at scheduling.
And that's where I would say.
Sorry, excuse me. I do have something.
I would say scheduling in a way where we're looking at certain things. She's almost lost an eye. I think scheduling is something that we're trying to do better. When we talk about balance, we're looking at that whole scheduling thing where it's like, okay, this is what we're doing today. This is what we have to get done today. So I think scheduling is a big one that we're trying to do better in, because again, you don't always get to, everything doesn't always slot in place. A lot of times we have to work around the kids. We have to work around their term time. We have to work around their schedule. But again, as we said in the beginning, the blessing is that we have an amazing community that has been there for us, and literally been like, cool, we'll take the kids this week, and you guys can travel and do what you have to do and stuff like that. And grandma has been a great help. Great help. Just a place where you can just leave them, and a lot of times we get even for our pastoral work. A lot of times it's like last minute urgent meetings that we have to take, and we might have one of the kids with us. One's in school, but we might have one that's with us, the younger one. So it might be a thing where it's like, grandma, we got an urgent meeting, or someone like, for instance, there was a hospital emergency, and we had to literally drop our child to grandma's and then go to the hospital, but then work it in a way where we was back in time to pick up our son. So it's all calculating things. So when I say scheduling, it's these little things that can make up a day when it comes to us.
Cool. Next one is there any advice you could give someone who is looking to be an entrepreneur who has a family already?
When you say family, as in wife or husband?
Wife and husband, who basically they have a family, they have children already as well, and they're looking to take that step into being an entrepreneur.
I would say two things. One, from a perspective, if you're a Christian, pray. Number one. Because
if you're not a Christian, pray.
You still have to pray. Everything is times and seasons, isn't it? So
that's right.
If there's an opportunity, you don't want to miss that window of opportunity, because it could set you back another few months, another couple of years, or whatever. So you have to know that this is what you want to do, and this is the right time to do it. You have to talk to your partner. It's such a big life decision. You can't just say, I feel like, I want to do this, so I'm just going to quit my job tomorrow. It's not. It's a conversation that has to be had, and you have to hear each other out, because you've taken the time to think about it, but before you've brought it to your partner, it's all new to them. So they have to kind of work it through in their heads. How is it going to work with kids, school, finances, our time together? Because now it's not just you've got a scheduled 9 to 5. It's but now you might be out all hours of the night, or you might be out of the country. So what does that do for me? What does that do for our marriage? What does that do for our communication? It's all of these things that you have to consider and make sure that you're definitely both on the same page when it comes to that. Make sure that you've got somebody on your team that will cheer you on, but then be very optimistic, but be realistic in the fact that there will be low times, and we need an action plan for that as well.
I was going to jump on that. Business plan. Have a business plan. Have a vision of what it is that you're doing.
What your goals.
The danger is for some people, they just want something new in their life to try. And many people, I used to be that person where it's like, I want to do something new. Like a new thought has come into my head. This business is going to kick off. Like, I've got a new creative idea. This is going to kick off. And then it's like, what happens if it doesn't kick off? Like, is it, did you think about it? Did you sit with it long enough to think, actually, this is going to work, or maybe this is just an impulse? And one of the other things that you have to be mindful and careful of is long-term and short-term, because some business structures, it's a long-term thing. Like, you're not going to like hit the first year or the first 2 years.
You're going to make a loss. And you've got to be willing to make the loss, because you have an end game that I can make a loss for the first few years, but I will be in profit. But this is how much I have to invest in order to get to that point.
I have to invest. I have to build a profile. I have to do certain things. I have to advertise. I have to get to a place where I'm known in this market. So that people can, when people look at me and like, oh, you're traveling, you're doing so much. It didn't start like that. It started with going away, like 4 times a year.
They've been doing music for 20 years. So literally, so 4 times a year going away. And then I never forget being like, I know that I had a deep feeling this is going to become the norm. But for it to become the norm, how is that going to affect everything else? Now I'm in a position, and it's by the grace of God, that I get to fly out about from 2 to 4 times a month. And that's amazing and it's great. But then I also got to think about, okay, my wife, I got to think about my children. How does that, it's sometimes we look at all business as good business. So it's like, oh, it's bookings, you're getting money. And it's like, there's no money that can replace or fill the gap of relationship. But even with that, it's not just in our equation. It's not just he's thinking about me or the kids. We have a church to think about. You're a senior. So there's opportunities that will come that you have to turn down. Because you can't be missing for that many Sundays. Do you get what I mean? And because you have to think of, okay, God, these are the people that I'm leading, and all of this stuff. But that's the stuff that people don't see and people don't talk about, because it's not just, I'm not just in the equation. It's like, God, there's a church that I'm serving. Also, that's in the equation.
And I can give you real life things that's happened this year. Like that's how common they are. So I got called to go to Nashville and work on a project, a massive and major project. And some people probably, after hearing this, be like, Volney, that was a stupid move. It was foolish of you. But I know where my priorities lie. And they was like, hey, look, we want to fly you out to Nashville to work on this project. And literally it was my mother's 70th birthday. And I literally said, the craziest thing is I had 2 bookings. One was to be in a festival in Norway, which is a massive one. And it's Nashville. And they would have worked back to back. So they would have worked. I would have got paid for that and it would have been great. But I said, no, my mother's like, she's family's top of the list. Like no money. And in respect to these other projects, love them. I'm a supporter. I'm a fan. But my mum comes. My family becomes above everything. So I cancelled that when I told my mum. She was like, well, another door will open, and I was like, yeah, man.
That's the great.
We're going away. So there's you got to also ask yourself, where does your priorities lie? Because easily, I remember what we were talking about earlier about balance. You can become unbalanced in certain places, and though you feel like you're winning financially in the corporate setting, you're losing in your family life. And many people they break up, divorce is on the table, and all of this stuff is on because they never saw this coming. They thought, well, I was working and doing all of this for the family, so therefore this is what was going to work. This is what was going to... And sometimes it takes just what you would consider a loss financially, I'm telling you, is a gain in other areas of your life. So I would encourage someone in that. So yeah, that happened, and I got called for another. In fact, this very week, well, not this very week, in a couple of weeks' time, I was called again. Nashville is really calling my name because I got called again to go to Nashville to an award show, and again, out of having a good character, I already had another integrity. I had another booking, and I literally said I can't do that because I'm already doing something else. And I think again in this game you have to have good integrity. And I know some people are just like opportunists. So it's like whatever window opens, I'm going for it. I'm taking it. And it's like, but you'll get to certain places and not have a good name. And a good name is something that you need in this industry, in this world. You need a good name
in life. Yeah, that's right.
That they could trust you, that they could work with you, that they know that you're loyal. You know what I mean? So yeah, all of this comes into play. So yeah.
Oh, cool. That's really. You know what? This whole interview has been really insightful, and you guys have given so much great advice as well.
Thank you
for the viewers that have watched this recording as well, and also for people that are actually looking to step out to be entrepreneurs as well. Earlier on in the interview, you guys told us about the one or two of the businesses that you guys run. I just wanted to know, where can people find your businesses, the social links and the websites, if you would like to tell the people?
Hey. Well, we are the business. So if you follow Volney Morgan and Angel Morgan, that's one. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that flow out of us. So the multiple streams, if you come to kind of the base, everything else you'll be able to find. So Volney Morgan and Angel Morgan on Instagram, on TikTok. We're trying to do better on this TikTok life. I just feel like I'm getting really old, but I'm not too old for Instagram, and I'm just meeting the mark on Facebook. So Volney Morgan on social media. You can follow British Gospel on Instagram, Volney Morgan and Ye, that's VM, and NEWYE, New Ye, that's my gospel choir. Definitely follow Angel Morgan. She's got a lot of stuff in the pipeline that she's till the appointed time. We've been working on some stuff that we're excited about.
Oh, what? Yep. That, I completely forgot, that did come to mind. I work for the BBC as well, so sometimes I am on BBC Radio, the daily service.
Daily service. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So
check that out as well.
I try to put so that people can listen.
Amazing. Brilliant, guys. Well, I'm going to put all of this information in the footnotes below. It has been an honor and a privilege to actually interview you guys, and to hear your perspective of being parents and also entrepreneurs as well. And I just want to say a massive thank you.
Thank you. What you're doing is awesome as well. I think this platform is for not even just a special niche. I think there's so much parents that are in the world we live in now. Everybody's an entrepreneur.
Everyone's got a side.
Everyone's an influencer. That's pretty much this. There's a lot of influencers coming up, and they've got children, and I think the beauty about this will expose and show that you can do both. You can be a parent and you can have a business. I think that's what's beautiful about this platform, is it's sharing, and I'm going to be plugging back in just so we can get some advice from someone else that might be doing something else that we're like, oh, we're about to move into that. So that's a good tip for us to take. So thank you for having us. Honestly, we really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Honestly, thank you guys for taking the time out to do this, man.
Thank you.
Honestly.